They're active. They're gonna kill me. The Order, the Academy, it's collapsed. My sister and my mother are dead.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
That's just what I was going to say. That's the bloke we've been looking for. That's the Yang. What?
Well, what a coincidence, Mr. Michaels. I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Miss Amanda Valley. And probably for arson, too.
What? No.
Take him away, Constable.
Inspector, I think I found her.
Damn. Call in the lads. There's nothing more we can do here.
She didn't set herself.
Why not? Perhaps she was cold and set herself on fire. For God's sake, she was murdered. Am I the only one round here with half a brain? Anyway, we are not going to find any more clues. It's been raining all night. You stay here and wait for the cavalry. I'll go down to the village and ask some questions.
Bit early for a beer, isn't it, Inspector?
I'm here on official business, Tom.
It wasn't me, honest. Me brother Bobby's me witness.
Do you know Amanda Valley?
Yes, unfortunately. I still owe her money.
Well, hold on to it. Buy her a wreath.
Heck, why? Is she dead?
You could say that. Burned. Probably last night between 6 p.m. and midnight. Where were you at that time?
Hey, Inspector, you know I wouldn't kill anyone. Especially not over a few quid. I was out with Bobby at a theme park, Alton Towers. Got home pretty late and went straight to bed.
So, do you know if Miss Valley had any enemies?
Apart from the Gordons?
The Gordons.
Her brother was cut up by that Samuel chap. I guess that was before your time. Since then, she's absolutely hated that family. Have you seen her flat? It's bloody mad, I tell you.
Any other tips?
Have you seen that Yank that's been sneaking around here recently? I'd check him out if I were you. He's the one with the blood in his hands. He was chatting with Amanda Valley in front of the pub a few days ago. He asked me about a tackle for robbing houses. No idea why he came to me, but it sounded pretty suspicious.
Holy, she really hadn't gotten over it. What have we got here? Interesting. Aha. Darren Michaels, Bedford, Maine, last week. I'll bet anyone 10 quid that's the Yank Tom was talking about.
Inspector! Inspector, the castle's on fire!
Oh, great. As if a burnt corpse wasn't enough. Come on.
Just listen to what I've got to say first. You can't just...
Come on, get in the car.
Caught with a flaming torch next to a burning castle. If this isn't my ticket out of this dump, then God only knows.
So, you fell in love with this woman?
Angelina.
Fell in love with Angelina, without knowing she was your sister. She lured you to England, to Black Mirror Castle, the castle of your ancestors, to use you as a key for an old ritual. That's right, isn't it? Do me a favor, and put the lighter down, all right? You said it had something to do with a curse, Adrian.
You tell me. All I know is that I drizzled blood on a book and read out incomprehensible words. And then bang, black all around me. And the next thing I can remember, there were sounds in the woods behind me getting nearer. All in all, a grade A nightmare. The ritual probably worked, and now I'm possessed by a centuries-old evil soul that wants to bend my mortal body to its purpose.
You believe you're carrying a second soul? Oh, Adrian, I know that feeling well. But believe me, no one is cursed. Children always believe they're to blame for grown-up suffering. These feelings of guilt have branded themselves into your soul. So, how was it for you to meet your biological mother after all these years? You said you didn't have much time to talk to her.
No. She was taken hostage by Angelina. They both died shortly afterwards. They fell into the abyss in the ritual chamber.
In the ritual chamber. Exactly. And your foster mother in America. Did you have a chance to talk to her about it?
No. She was in a coma, and then she died.
All right, then. Perhaps we should forget about the women in your family for the time being and turn to more happy matters. Let's talk about your father. Wait a minute, Constable. We're not finished yet.
Perhaps we can leave that till tomorrow.
As you wish.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the inspector has something important he needs to talk with Mr. Michaels about. And you know what the inspector's like. It's about the bail.
Is it still not high enough for him? There's no one who would spend a penny on me anyway.
Don't say that.
All right, Doc. Have you got a spare 5,000 pounds?
Yes. Well, I can't do that, Adrian. I'm your doctor.
Mr. Michaels, come along now, please.
If there's anything you want to talk about, Adrian, I'm here most of the time. And Zach, tell the inspector he should keep to the arranged times. I don't burst in when he's in the middle of an interrogation.
Yes, Mum. I'll tell him.
So how's your abused little arsonist soul? Stroke better by the nice doctor? I hope you see the burning faces of the 4 poor souls you have on your conscience every single night.
Thanks for asking.
You know what? I'm starting to run out of patience with you. If I could, I'd have you deported. Your fellow countrymen should be made to endure your fairy tales. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
If you'd led a decent investigation, then you'd have found evidence for my fairy tales a good while back.
And now the little thug wants to tell me how to do my job. Constable Zach was down in the sewers for 2 days, and what did he find? Nothing. And Miss Valley's also a mysterious order. Nonsense. No one here has even heard of it.
They had an assembly chamber in the mine, and Victoria knows about it too.
Assembly chamber? Don't make me laugh. Miss Valley gave lectures on the cursed Gordon clan in there. And the old biddy hasn't spoken since the fire.
Gordon clan? Old biddy? Stop talking about my family like that.
Your family? Yeah, well, you'd actually fit in with those loonies.
Whatever. Can I go back to my cell now?
Unfortunately, I have to throw you out of your little paradise. Someone's paid your bail.
What did you say? Who?
Doesn't seem to be a friend of yours. Wanted to stay anonymous. Well, whatever. Get your things and get out of here. But don't go too far. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on the wanted list. That would be pretty much the most stupid thing that could happen to you.
I can well believe it.
All the better. So be a good boy and go collect your things from your apartment.
Only the Willow Creek police know why there's only one locker for a 2-man cell. My pencil... but where's my diary? My friendly fellow inmate, Matt Newcastle. One of those kind of people that my mother always warned me about. Have you seen my diary?
Your diary? And here's me thinking it belonged to some nutter. I don't know what happened to me in the ritual chamber. What went wrong?
How did you get into my locker? Stop that! Constable!
Or worse, what if nothing went wrong? What if Mordred has been freed and has taken possession of me and is making me do his bidding? Please, somebody help me. Stop me from becoming a murderer.
Give that here, you bastard!
I don't want to be Mordred's puppet. I want this fiend to disappear, back to the hell he crawled out of.
I'll have you! I'll kill you!
Boo-hoo-hoo! I don't want to be a murderer. Boo-hoo! Don't make me crap myself. I'm so scared. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, Scarface! Oh, forget it, you nutter.
I don't know what's going on with me just now, but I'd rather just keep my distance from that guy. That moron Matt ripped up my diary. These are the only pages I could save, and most of them are empty.
Can you sign here, please? Just to confirm that you've read the bail conditions and that you've been instructed to register with Dr. Winterbottom every day. This here is a declaration of your state of health at the time of your provisional release.
But there's only good or very good on there.
So, you're not feeling so good then?
No.
Well, don't forget to sign it then. Here's your wallet. I keep the passport. And you need to sign here that you got your things back.
You promise with all this signing you haven't secretly slipped a confession in there, too?
That's not permitted.
Ah, so I'm in luck then. Just a minute, I was being a bit premature. There's $500,000 missing.
You should have checked for that before signing for it. Any subsequent complaints have to be addressed to our regional HQ in Bristol.
All right, just a joke. Is that it then?
Yes. You're free to go now, Mr. Michaels.
Amen.
Mr. Michaels?
Something else to sign?
No. I just wanted to inform you that your solicitor is assuming you're going to call him soon. Here's his card.
Got it. Catch you later, Constable. Free at last. Well, relatively. At least I can now prove my innocence by my own means. Now, let's see what my lawyer wants from me.
Mr. Jones from the law firm Jones & Partners.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Darren Michaels here. I was told you wanted to speak to me?
Ah, Mr. Michaels, yes. The investigations are stagnating, rather. As long as there's no evidence for the allegations brought against you, you can't be charged. So that's good. On the other hand, your fellow countrymen want to step into the ring, too. The American embassy is on our backs. That's not so good.
And what does that mean, exactly?
Well, that you're going to have to sit tight in Willow Creek for quite a while. Inspector Spooner's investigation methods. You implied the last time that you weren't too happy with them?
Yes. It seems to me that Spooner isn't really bothered anymore.
Inspector Spooner just wanted to produce a guilty party and then get the case closed as soon as he could. He has to produce results so that he can get back to London. But he's rather used up all his ammo. Now he's hoping that the embassy will take the case off him so that he doesn't have to chalk it up as a failure.
So he doesn't really seem to be interested in the truth.
Well, the truth, Mr. Michaels, as is generally known, is the invention of a liar. But the fact you've got bail is a good sign. And that someone's been found to pay for it is even better. Perhaps you should have a look yourself, now that you've been released, for some clues or slip-ups in the investigation. Would be best if you could get a copy of your files.
Are you convinced that I'm innocent, Mr. Jones?
Of course, Mr. Michaels. Do you think I could represent you if I wasn't? Nevertheless, we should hurry up and find some solid evidence to prove it.
This somebody who you maintain means well has paid the bail anonymously. Can you find out who it was?
No problem. But it'll take a couple of days.
How long do I have to put up with this psychotherapy?
You're gonna have to hang in there for a few more rounds at least. It's in your best interest.
The last assessment was rejected. What good can it do?
Forget about the authorities. You ever thought that you might actually need therapy?
Do you think I'm crazy?
Aren't we all? But seriously, Mr. Michael, try and do something about your mental condition. If you end up having to face a lawsuit in the States, your family's mental history isn't going to impress the jury one bit. So stop blocking shots and come out from behind your guard, man.
You said I should have another look at my file. Is it really so easy to do that?
Well, it depends on the inspector in charge. But if you flatter him a little, he might let you have a look. Otherwise, I could request a copy and send it on to you.
That's gonna take too long. I'll try to get my hands on it myself. Mr. Jones, did you find out anything about my identity? The police here don't seem to be putting any effort into it.
Yes. Concerning your identity, Mr. Michaels, it's hard to prove anything at the moment. Find documents, birth certificates, that kind of thing. But don't forget to go to your therapy sessions.
Whatever. I'll be in touch.
Keep your head up. Attack is the best form of defense.
It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that. My dry sponge is now a wet sponge. What's her problem?
I hope you only want to cut up veggies with that. Sir?
Walking maps of the area. Indispensable for a suspected murderer out on bail, like myself. That must be... Hello.
What do you want?
Then maybe I want to buy something?
Okay.
I'd like to buy one of these walking maps.
Please, take it. You don't need to come to the till. It's on the house.
Oh. Thank you very much. See ya.
I hope not.
Shame. No donuts left. At last, a ray of sunshine. I was beginning to think there were only gross-looking guys with alcohol problems living in this dump. Hi,
I know. I recognize you from the newspaper.
And you're not gonna run away screaming?
I'd have a lot of running to do if I ran away from every weirdo in this dump.
You really like living here, huh? Are you out of donuts?
No, there are some in the storeroom, but they're reserved for the nice inspector. He buys them here every morning.
Of course. And what if I want one too?
Then bake one yourself.
I'd like a coffee, black.
Coming up.
I think the door leads into the storeroom. Okay, I've got to come up with something that's gonna make Spooner hang out here in the cafe for a while. A shelf full of stock for the cafe. What have we got here? Coffee, tea, juice, milk. Ah, and a package of donuts. Those have to be the donuts specially reserved for Spooner. A high-performance chest freezer with a glass lid. Not a lot in it. A pack of tart bases. Oh, and a box of ice cream. Mint and chocolate. The seal is in really bad shape. If it gets wet, you probably wouldn't be able to get the chest open anymore. I'll put the box of donuts in a nice visible spot in the freezer. I'll wet the sealing rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order somewhat.
Another one of these flat days today. I could really do with something to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
It's not Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? Then can't you bung them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while. Constable Zach, can I ask you something briefly? How involved were you in the investigation of my case?
I searched the sewer system and the bunker.
And you didn't find any clues?
No.
That just can't be true.
It's bloody dark down there, Mr. Michaels, and full of rats. Not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything new on the kidnapping? Have you spoken to Tom, Bobby, or the kid in Wales?
According to the statement, Tom was at Alton Towers with Bobby at the time.
And you don't find it a little bit strange that those two went to a theme park?
The only strange thing was that Bobby was in hospital for 2 days afterwards with concussion. But we've got a medical certificate that proves that.
And what if Tom was lying?
We can't prove it. He had 2 tickets for the theme park and the paperwork from the hospital.
Damn. And the boy?
There's no one called Van Helsing in Wales.
Can you make a copy of my file and send it to my lawyer?
Didn't he get one ages ago?
He, wants to have the current version for the embassy.
Not possible.
Something wrong?
I'd forgotten. The copier gave up the ghost a few weeks back, but there's a new one on order.
Are you being serious?
It's not so bad. I've so little to do here, I could type up most of the documents.
I understand. So, would you be so kind as to type my file?
No.
And what if I fix that thing?
All right then. You go and see what you can do with it.
Goodbye, Constable. It can't be that difficult to fix a copier. I studied it once. Well, kind of. What if we got here? The fuse has blown. Switch to turn it on, and you press the green button to copy. If I twist and connect the wires that work, it should be able to copy again. wires that aren't cooked have... That should do it. Can I ask you something briefly?
Hmm?
The copier's working again.
Hmm?
Now, can you copy my file?
Sure. Then I'll send the copy to your lawyer. The copy of your file?
Then I can send it myself.
The inspector insists that no files can leave the building without authorization.
I see. Damn. Constable?
Mm-hmm?
When does the mail go? My lawyer needs the file as soon as possible.
I'll post it later on. It ought to be collected this afternoon.
Thanks. Goodbye, Constable. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. They probably don't need it anymore. I somehow need to stop the letter from vanishing irretrievably into the mailbag. The mailbag is stretched over a kind of hanger. I could lay something over it so that the letter doesn't fall into the bag. The board is just the right size. It'll go straight on top of the mailbag so that when the constable posts the letter, I can easily pull it out again. It worked. Let's see what's in here. Friday afternoon, 12:30. Oh, they must have discovered the body then. The time of death for Miss Valley was the previous evening, Thursday, between 10 and midnight. Cause of death, burned alive after a blow to the back of the head. Grim. Witness interviews. Let's see. Not important. Saw nothing. It continues. Friday, 1837. Emergency services called out. At that time, I was in the ruins of the old academy with Angelina, Lewis, and my mother. Then, Saturday, 12:06 a.m. Fire under control. At that time, I was running from the ruins in the direction of the castle. 3 bodies were retrieved. Lady Eleanor Gordon, Edward Bartholomew Bates, the butler, and Sally Wood, the cook. 1 survivor, Lady Victoria Gordon, suffering from severe smoke inhalation. Also on Saturday morning, 12:12 a.m., Darren Michaels arrested on suspicion of arson and murder of Miss Valley. Witness interviews on the subject unproductive, and Lady Victoria Gordon could not as yet be questioned. She remains in shock. After a 2-week period of hospitalization, was discharged of her own wishes to continue medical supervision at home. Hey, it says here that Murray can't remember having seen me in the hotel on Thursday evening. That can't be right. That was exactly when he threw me out of the hotel. Oh, the rat was lying. Just wait. Evidence still insufficient to charge, but strongly suspected of crime. Current state of the investigation. Darren Michaels' conduct, as well as his contradictory testimony, is currently being examined for plausibility by the psychiatric expert, Dr. Joyce Winterbottom. Here's a note to Constable Zach. If he's diagnosed as nuts, will he have to be remanded in a loony bin? Possible murder weapon, a torch, still smoldering, which was in Darren Michaels' possession when apprehended. He is undergoing forensic examination. Deportation to USA not possible. Release of the suspect on bail on direction of the court. Dr. Winterbottom authorized as prime supervisory agent and point of referral. Good, then I've got 2 new goals already. Visit Victoria and see how she's doing, and let Murray know what I think. I'll write in the file so I don't forget. There are enough empty pages. I can stash the remains of my diary away with it as well.
Mr. Michaels! Welcome back to Gordon's Palace. We missed you here.
How's that? The last time we saw each other was Thursday, 3 weeks ago, when you threw me out of the hotel.
Thrown out of the hotel? How did that happen then?
The thing with the sewers, the secret entrance in Angelina's room. That ring any bells?
Really? Oh yes, there was something. Ah, well, please excuse me. I did overreact a little. I hope you're not going to bear a grudge, though, Mr. Michaels. I'm very happy to make things up with you. You'll also understand that I couldn't hold your reservation for such a long period. Unfortunately, your room is occupied at the moment. But you can have another, a bigger, nicer one, for a small price, really. And for such a room, a ridiculously tiny price.
So you've remembered then? Very good. Then please go right back to the police and tell them that you know exactly where I was on the evening that Miss Valley was murdered.
Was that the same day? Are you sure? Now, it may well have been. I don't pay much attention to that kind of thing. Why should I? It's really nothing to do with me.
You two-faced snake! I insist you march down to the inspector and tell him you want to change your statement.
Mr. Michaels, you're free. I don't understand your problem.
I'm only out on bail.
Oh, my congratulations. I'm sure that wasn't cheap. However, in spite of that, I still don't see why I should get involved with things that don't concern me.
You can't be serious. Thanks to you, I've just spent the past 3 weeks sitting in a cell as an innocent man.
Mr. Michaels, I really am extremely sorry, but I can't fulfill your request. My own credibility would be on the line if I were to simply change my mind. Unless...
Unless what? Come on, spit it out and quit playing around, you pathetic little blackmailer. Otherwise, I promise you that the murder series will continue. Here and now. No. Admittedly, I'd be the last one who's standing in your way. But a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, isn't that so? All the same, I would like a photo of you. Nothing sensational. Maybe somewhere in the woods with a knife in your hand. So they can send me straight into the madhouse? No way.
Okay, think about it. A watertight alibi for a tiny little amusing photo. It's not a bad exchange.
You are one nasty dirtbag, Murray. You know that?
I'll even give you a camera to take it with. My best one.
Yeah. Does it still work using a lever?
It's a collector's piece. One of the first instant film cameras on the European market. An SX-70. And still in great condition, too. 15 years ago, a very well-groomed gentleman handed it over to me as a deposit in my pawn shop. He never picked it up again. So, you can say that I obtained it quite legitimately. And now, I entrust you with it. Pay attention, I'll tell you how it works.
That's okay. I'll work it out. If I choose to use it.
But that's not all. I've got another present for you. Here, a brand new rucksack. And free food and lodgings for as long as you wish, Mr. Michaels. Accept it as a peace offering and reparations for the trouble with the statement.
You really are a few cards short of a full deck.
Mr. Michaels, wait!
What do you want now?
Forget the woods. In front of the castle would definitely have much more impact. The photo, I mean.
And people think I'm crazy. A rucksack with a contorted image of my father's face on it. I'm not sure Murray's actually allowed to sell crap like this. Whatever, I'll sue him for that later. First of all, let's see what's inside. The room looks almost exactly the same as the other one I had 3 weeks ago. I bet Murray got a discount on the interior decoration. While I'm here, I may as well put away the stuff I don't want to carry around with me. Oh, we've got a new doorbell with an intercom system.
Who's there?
My name's Adrian Gordon. I'd like to see Lady Victoria, please. Hello?
Come in, Mr. Gordon. Lady Victoria has just woken up.
Yes, of course.
Please excuse the chaos. The builders are working on the renovations.
You're looking after Lady Victoria?
Yes. I'm a trained nurse of your...
great-grandmother.
I take care of all of your great-grandmother's needs.
Thank you, Miss...
Angeline. Sister Angeline.
Thank you, Sister Angeline. Can I just ask you something? How is Lady Victoria?
As well as can be expected. She's not speaking to me, unfortunately. Perhaps you'll have better luck.
Oh God, looks like a death chamber in here. Oh, I can feel a chill right to my heart. I can only hope Victoria gets better soon. Victoria, my great-grandmother, and the only member of my family I've got left. Hello, Victoria? It's me, Adrian. Did you put up the bail for me? Are you being well looked after? Victoria, are you okay? Victoria, I need your help. Really. The police don't believe me. How can I make them understand that I'm Adrian Gordon when the name Darren Michaels is printed in my passport? Victoria, you're the only one who can help me. Please. I'm sorry about what happened to Bates, Eleanor, and Sally. It must be awful for you.
Adrian, tell me the truth. Was it you? Did you start the fire?
No, Victoria. It wasn't me. It was Lewis. He did what Angelina told him to do. She was behind all the murders. It was her who also lured me here because she needed me for, well, you know, the curse which only affects the male Gordons. She wanted to achieve what Samuel was trying to prevent. She was possessed by it. She lied to me, to all of us.
What's all that, Adrian? You sound like a coward. It wasn't me. It was Angelina. Why should I believe you? Why have you come here at all? Things were going well for you in America. If you'd only just stayed there, Bates would still be alive. Eleanor, Catherine, Miss Valley. You're too weak. You can't stand up to Mordred. His ghost rides you like a child rides a rocking horse. Since you've turned up, there's been nothing but calamity. Just disappear again, Adrian. Do me a favor and go back to where you came from before the other half of the castle goes up in flames.
What have you done to her?
Nothing at all. I've been talking with her, that's all.
You'd better go now. Your great-grandmother needs peace and quiet.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't want that. I'm sorry.
Just go, please.
Now, it's not just everyone in the village that hates me, but the only remaining member of my family, too. Real good job, Darren. If I wasn't already doing it, I'd be signing up for therapy right away. Oh well, here goes nothing. Hi, Murray.
Oh, the esteemed Mr. Michaels. What's on your mind?
So there, you've got your stupid photo. Happy?
Oh, I can hardly recognize a thing.
Me in front of the castle as agreed? Okay, off to the cops, Murray.
I'm sure you know how important my exonerating statement in the Valley murder case is.
Murray...
Okay, I'll take it.
First, go to the police station.
All right, then, I'll go today. I'm an honorable businessman.
And I'm a possessed madman.
I suggest taking a rest in your room first, and then when you wake up, everything will have been sorted with the police.
It really could use some sleep. Huh. Someone shoved something under the door. I can help you prove your innocence because I believe in your innocence. But I have to be able to trust you too. We can't meet yet, which is why I'm just gonna send you clues. If you want to take up my offer, then you'll find the first lead at your father's grave. Huh, that's a bit confusing. Who's this message from? Murray? He doesn't have an interest in proving my innocence. And anyway, he would just tell me himself. But who else knows I'm living here in the hotel? I need to follow this up carefully. And I ought to find out where the graveyard is around here. Hi, Murray.
Oh, the esteemed Mr. Michaels. What's on your mind?
Is this note here from you?
Pardon? No, I speak to my guests personally when I've got something for them.
Was there anyone here asking for me earlier?
No, you're simply not well known enough. But that'll soon change, believe me.
Murray, do you know where the local graveyard is?
A graveyard? Didn't you want to take a rest?
I'm not up for resting anymore.
I'm sure you can't mean the graveyard behind the hotel. It's being redone right now.
It's being what?
I've had it removed for the time being so I can relocate it in a sensational new setting. It means I can charge more for some of the rooms with views over the Gordon graveyard.
You've had the Gordon family graves leveled?
To be quite honest, there was only Lothar Gordon's grave there, the founder of the original sanatorium. The family crypt is in the churchyard at Wormhill.
Ah, right. In Wormhill, then. See you, Murray.
Back to work.
Who's that? That doesn't look like the priest. Hey, you there. Good morning.
What the? Oh, I'm sorry, lad. I must have nodded off.
In the confession box?
The bench has a cushion on it, at least.
You're not the priest, are you?
God forbid. I'm Mark, the grave digger.
Do you know Wormhill well?
Of course, but it's just a few houses on the back of the woods. There's more life in here, I tell you. Are you looking for something in particular?
No, I'm just trying to get an idea of the place.
Looking around this graveyard will give you a better idea of the place. And should you want to reserve yourself a spot here, then let me know. I recommend the southern slope. That's the best location.
Thanks for the tip, but I'm in no hurry to die just yet.
But maybe death's in a hurry to come and get you.
What is it you actually do all day?
Answer stupid questions.
I mean, digging graves can't be all you do.
Yeah, you're right, lad. I don't just dig. I repair things too, keep the church in order, guard the graves. And if you think that the weeds grow on their own around here, then think again. It ain't weeds, and it don't grow on its own. But who's interested anyway?
What did you mean by that? You guard the graves?
Well, because of the clientele. So they don't get dug up. By dogs and the like.
Which dogs?
Well, strays from around here. For them, a graveyard is like
an underground hot dog stand?
Yeah, exactly. With bloody tough sausages.
You must have a lot to do around here, being the gravedigger.
Oh, that's right. My job here is quite secure.
Can you tell me anything about the church?
What do you mean then, lad? Who built it? It certainly wasn't me, even if I might look that old. Must have been around the time Marcus Gordon was alive. Have you seen the dark part of the tower up there?
Yes.
He ran out of stone, and they say he took stones from his castle walls to finish it off. Demolished his own castle to finish the church.
A model Christian.
Perhaps his time was running out. Got himself buried in there in the end.
A crypt that's 100 feet tall with an altar and a bell tower, all for him alone. What a modest man.
All those toffs are. No, he treated himself to an extra crypt underneath the nave. But it caved in 12 years ago. Nobody can get in there anymore.
It's quite a woody area.
That's also supposed to be the reason it's such a bloody area.
The evil of the woods? People around here read too many horror stories.
Or have experienced it themselves. Have you been in the woods here at night?
No.
They say there's plenty to see. Murderous lords of the castle, the undead, Mordred's voracious hellhounds. There are many stories about it. Probably as many stories as there are people here.
The woods around Willow Creek strike me as being particularly creepy.
Yes, and the number of wild boars in there is uncanny. I've known them to trample down my fences to get at the clientele. But I've got some crafty traps set up. I'm looking forward to having a roast. The priest gave his permission.
You don't happen to know, being the gravedigger and all, where Samuel Gordon's grave is? He must have been buried in 1981.
That's a tough one, lad. So many people died here 12 years ago, good and evil alike, in the strangest of circumstances. I really can't remember who ended up where. You'd be better off talking to Father Frederick, the priest. Perhaps he can remember.
Where would I find the priest, then?
Today? We won't find him at all. He left around midday. Some conference or other. Supposed to be back by noon tomorrow, though.
I'd better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled, lad.
Oh, is it that late already? Those must be wild boars. There's supposed to be plenty of them around here. Or demonic hellhounds, as they say in the local fables. Whoa! I better get out of here fast if I don't want to get mauled. Up for too long. How come I'm not waking up? This must just be a nightmare. Have they gone? Calm before the storm? I think I better wait until those beasts have lost their appetite. Oh, that's better. I can see now. What the hell? Damn, don't say somebody lives here. There's something lying under the bed, but I can't get at it. A rusty old garden implement. Gotcha. A cardboard box. Somebody scribbled something on the lid. I can't decipher it. The word definitely begins with an R, though. Let's take a look inside. A rag doll. Pretty ugly and worn out. I recognize it. I've seen it before. It was Ralph's. Yep, that's his doll. Mr. Bubby, or whatever he called it. Strange. How'd it get here? And why has Ralph left it? I mean, he never used to go anywhere without it. What else have we got? A luminous sticker with a smiley on it. And a cork from a bottle. This must be Ralph's shack. Or his hideaway. A peculiar shadow. I think I know where that mysterious shadow's coming from. Well, how about that? And so the key falls into my possession. Fits. As I thought, full of junk. So let's have a look. Damn! That looks like one of the robes and the masks from the order that was after me. Huh. But at the same time, it's also proof that the order existed. I'll take it with me. There's some paper in the robe. Seems to be a letter to the order. Quite badly torn. Unable to stop the evil, already sacrificed. His objective, or something happens to me. No trace is to be... Perhaps I'll find something useful after all. A corkscrew and a yardstick. They look in reasonable shape. I'll take them. Whoa, a chainsaw. I've got a feeling that this baby's gonna come in handy. I'm guessing that's paint thinners or gasoline for cleaning stuff. Ugh, smells something like that at least. The tank's just about half full. Hopefully that'll be enough. I filled up the chainsaw, but the tank's lid is missing. I don't think it's a good idea to start it up as it is. Alright, that ought to hold. Now we can get going. Alright, tanked up and ready for action. Now where are the zombies? Bring them on. The rotten boards shouldn't be a problem for the saw, but I ought to check what's underneath them first. The floorboards here sure creak loudly. The floorboards here sure... Another door. Was kinda obvious. There's storage behind it for logs. It stretches right to the door. There's no getting through here. The floorboards here sure creak loudly. Interesting. There's at least half a meter of space below the boards. The shack must have been built on stilts. The next time I'm being pursued by hellhounds and hide in a shack, I'll look out for that as I go in. I'll just cut myself a trapdoor in the floor. It can also be closed again in an emergency. Cool. I can sneak outside through the hole. Good. Let's try it. I'm better leaving the heavy junk here. Good. No wild beasts for miles. Weird. No tracks. The beasties couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. Oh, no.